What's up, YouTube fans? Today, I want to take a look at something really unique. This is the Takara Tomy Transformers crossed with Super GT. So their version of Megatron, Saber, and Maximus. So a little backstory on why did I get these. These are older figures, but they were exclusive in Japan. They weren't really available here, readily available. And I actually ended up buying the red Optimus Prime GTR, which was in the Alternity line. The Alternity line did come out here in the United States. A little hard to get, but still you could find them. Places like BBTS. And I bought one, and I actually kind of kept it as a collector's item for a friend of mine who actually owns a GTR in real life. He's a big fan of GTRs, so I gave that to him as a gift. And he loved it so much, he ended up going and finding the other two repaints of that. There's a silver one, and I think a blue one, or maybe it's a gray one. Anyway, he went off and bought those. Oh, it's a blue one, yeah. And then a friend of mine showed me this, and I had never known about this. I didn't know it existed. This basically, sports versions. Now, these are official liveries from the actual Nissan GTR sports cars that exist in the real world. And then they actually give you a little GT sisters, so they're little figurines here, with the same livery, which is really kind of neat. So you get the GT sister, and then the painted up GTR transforms. This one transforms into Maximus, this one's Saber, and this one is Megatron. So really, really cool. They are kind of repaints of each other, except the head, the sculpt is obviously different, and the paint is different. So let's get these open. All right, I took a minute to kind of arrange them and also take a look at the packaging. And you do want to look at these instruction books because they do show you a few things. So number one, this one is obvious. It says Megatron, but there's G1 Megatron. There's GT Sister Noah, and there's some Transformers history. It's not necessarily all Megatrons, it's just history. There's the animation. And then the other side is all instructions. It shows you how to do everything. But here's the other one. Saber is Star Saber. I didn't realize that. So, I don't know. I didn't put two and two together. But there's GT Sister Anna. There's some more Transformers history. It's not all about Star Saber. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's about... Yeah, I don't even know. This is about Convoy. So, there's a animation. And then, of course, the other side has instructions. And then the last one, Maximus, you guessed it, is Fortress Maximus. There's a picture of Maximus. There's GT Sister Hero. There's some history. Those all look like primes. There's an animation. And then, of course, the other side is the instructions. Now, they do come with appropriate weapons. So let's bring in Megatron. Let's get into the details here. The livery is a real livery, like I mentioned earlier. It's beautifully done. Nice detail here. You got the GTR symbol there. You got a tow hook there. All of this livery. Rubber tires. Nice wheels with decals and paint on them. You got the racing style rear view mirrors. Racing style rear spoiler. Really accurate GTR lights there. It says GTR and the Nissan there. Really beautiful. Now, what the cool thing is, these doors actually open. It is a right side drive, so you get the right side steering wheel. Inside there, hopefully you can see in there, it's got a shifter knob, and it's got the handbrake, and then it's got rear seats, which I don't think on these race cars they've got rear seats. That's probably carryover from the original GTR alternative version, but just kind of cool that they did that. And, of course, you can open up the hood. So if you get in here with a spudger, you can pull this forward, just like the Masterpiece skids. You can lift that up, and then it says in there, Nissan and Nismo, right here. It says Nismo here, and it does kind of look like an engine. Pretty neat. If you flip up this head, it will reveal Megatron with the red eyes, silver face. It's got a little translucent piece here. But really neat, really neat. I love that little detail there. Push that back in and close that up. Here's the passenger side that opens up two seats on both sides and a dashboard. And they really went all out on the detail on this thing. This guy comes with this weapon here. Of course, it's a gun because it's Megatron, so he's got a blaster. big blaster. You're supposed to store it here. I don't know. This is kind of silly to me that that's the storage point, but that is what this says. So there you go. Pretty neat. And it is a very nicely painted and detailed gun. So next we'll move on to Saber, Star Saber. Beautiful Calisonic GTR. I love this livery. This one makes me want to hold on to it. It looks that good. But here's the inside. You got the nice white seats. Again, steering wheel, shifter, and handbrake. On the back, you got the red seats in the rear. Beautifully done. Beautiful paint job. Here's the bottom. All die cast. So this whole piece here, everything you see here, the red, the black, the white, that's all die cast. Nice, hefty. It does feel like a, a die cast model. And it has that kind of realism to it. Pull forward on here and we can see the engine. And this one also says Nissan Nismo. Let me see if we can get this open a little bit better. Okay. And then if we flip up that head, of course, we'll reveal... I actually haven't even seen it yet, so. Star Saber, look at that head. Wow, man, these things are really good looking. Got the red, the yellow, nice ears there. Excellent. Really cool that you can just look at that. You don't have to transform it to see it. The bodies are all the same as the original, with the exception to this little rear view or rear spoiler there. Everything else is the same as the Alternity GTR. It transforms the same, it looks the same, but I do love the look and feel of this. This one comes with this weapon, so it's Star Saber's sword, and it will just mount here. I'm trying not to scratch the paint, but that will just sit right there on the end, and that's really cool. Alright, lastly we'll look at Maximus, Fortress Maximus. Open this up here, we have the blue seats with the steering wheel, same thing, and then rear seats, blue seats back there. Very nice. D station, really beautiful livery on this one too. And of course we can open up the hood, pull that forward, and inside reveals the little engine compartment, which will have the head for Maximus. Get that out of there. And let's take a look. Wow, that's cool too. So there's the Fortress Maximus head. Really nicely done. Gray paint, blue for the ears. They did a great job. All right, and then of course he comes with a sword. It looks like this. And this is really interesting. So this is actually meant to be a jack stand. So if you fold this up, you can see there's actually a wheel here in the front. So it's meant to be a jack stand. So you actually put it underneath, and it fits in right here. You can actually fit it right there. And it holds up the car, holds up the rear of the car. So that's just really cool. You can do the front too. Okay. And now you can have the front wheels up. So the rear wheels still roll, but the front wheels are up on this jack stand. That's really cool, man. I guess she could be operating the jack stand. Or I guess her. All right, now let's get these guys transformed into their robot mode. Since they're the same mold as the Alternity line versions of the GTRs, the transformation is identical with the exception of this black spoiler here. So I'm going to get them transformed off camera and then we'll be right back. I just want to be careful with them. I don't want to scratch up the paint. So I'm going to do it off camera and then we'll take a look at the robot modes. And there they are in their robot modes. Really cool looking. Transformation is not all that fun. There's some auto transforming gimmicks in there, in the chest and in the back, and it kind of just gets in the way. It's not the best, but it works. It gets there. But let's take a look. Let's start off with the GT sisters. We'll show you articulation. I'll just show you the articulation on one of them, and then the rest are the same. So the head is on looks like a double ball peg, and here I just pulled it apart accidentally, but you can see that inner ball peg there for the waist. The head also has a double ball peg, so you can get movement down, back, rotation. She can get way down and way up. The hair is kind of a flexible thing, and she's got a little hat on this one. You have a ball joint here at the waist, so it gets way down to there, back to there, rotation all the way around. There's another ball joint at the bottom, so that one also rotates. There's a lot of articulation on this thing. It's kind of crazy. Arms rotate all the way around, go up to there on that joint. Rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow, gets you the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. They do come with replacement hands, so you get a open hand, a gripped hand, and actually I'll just take one of these out. These do have a little articulation point here, so if you want to, you can pop this off, pop in one of these, and these go in and out. So you have a in and out joint there. It's interesting they gave you all of that. Rotation at the bottom waist. The legs are a little bit limited due to the skirt being, kind of in the way. So the legs do go back and forth and out to the side, but it's very limited. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knee gets you the full bend. Boot rotation here. You have the forward and backward tilt. And let's see, I think you get a side to side too. So these ones do get a side to side. This one doesn't seem to get a side to side unless I'm missing it. Oh yeah, there is one right here. It's just very tight. And it's kind of awkward the way it is, but yeah, I don't want to push it. I don't want to break it. These are relatively older figures, but there is a rotation there at the toe as well. So some really nice articulation on these GT sisters. All right, now let's take a look at the robot mode. We'll start with Megatron here. And I'll just show you the articulation. It's the same for all of them, but we'll start with this guy. Both of them, the GT Sisters and the robot modes, have very thin heels. So they tend to be back heavy. There's a lot of die cast. This whole thing, all that silver you see in there is die cast. It's all die cast. It makes the car very heavy, but it also makes him back heavy, and he wants to lean back on those heels. So you kind of have to balance him, kind of have to lean him forward a little bit, or just put the heels way out. But that is how it works. The head is on a ball joint, so it rotates all the way around. You get a little bit of side to side. Goes down to there and up to there. There's a little clear shield on the front. I'm not sure what that's about, but they all have that. Arms rotate all the way around. On this joint, you have a in and out joint here for this door, so you can pose that. The elbow joint is a 90-degree bend. The hand is on a ball joint, so it goes in and out, rotates all the way around. It doesn't open up or anything. But he can hold his weapon here. You can get that in there. It's kind of a tight fit, but there you go. You have a no waist rotation or ab crunch on this guy. It's actually all die cast in here. Everything you see right here is die cast. There is a little teeny tiny Decepticon logo. Let's see if I can get in close enough for you to see that. So right there's a Decepticon logo. Nice paint all throughout there. I mean, that whole waist region is painted beautifully. Paint here on the thighs as well, and the little red accent there. The knees bend 90 degrees on a ratchet. There's a ratchet on the thighs. Thighs are ratcheted forward and backwards. And then out to the side is friction. Rotation at the knee. I mentioned 90-degree bend, and then you're really limited here at the ankles. It's really a little bit to the back and forth, a little bit forward and backwards. But like I mentioned, it is back heavy, and you really need that heel to kind of balance it. But there you go for articulation. You also have a little extra feature here. You get a little gun, and this is the same on the Alternity line. You had this little fold-out gun from the back of the seat there. So he's got those. So you can use that as a weapon in addition to his gun, which is kind of cool. So there you go for his articulation. So final thoughts on the Super GT Megatron, Saber, and Maximus. Let's start with the positives. It's all about car mode here, and these car modes are absolutely gorgeous. They really spared no expense. They went all out. These are super accurate to their actual real world counterparts. The liveries, the interior of the vehicle, the exterior, the opening doors and engines. I mean, all of that looks great. Even the rubber down to the rubber tires, which I don't know if I mentioned or not, but they are rubber tires. Everything is just really, really well done in the vehicles. I also like the accessories. They seem appropriate for the characters, and they look good, and they're painted well. The gun for Megatron, the sword's gun thing for Saber, and then the sword for Maximus. I mean, that they all are appropriate to the characters and they look good. Although Maximus's weapon, at least something to be desired on the back side of it, because it's just blank there. The GT Sisters also were kind of a pleasant surprise. I thought they were going to be kind of junky little, figurines, but they're actually pretty good. They've got some really nice paint and detail, and they're really posable. They have a lot of articulation to them. I wasn't expecting that. Usually these kind of things are just figurines. Negatives wise, you are limited in the robot mode, specifically in these ankles and these feet. You can't get these out, a little bit. I wish you could go a little bit further, but if you push it further, it kind of pops off that ball joint. So you can't get wide poses, and the feet end up sticking up, and actually that becomes unstable like that. It's also a little bit back heavy, so you have to pose it in such a way that it's leaning a little bit forward. So you're a little bit limited on that, but still very, very cool looking robots. The head sculpts turned out great. They did a great job just capturing the characters for each of these. They really did a good job on those. So I do recommend these, especially if you're a, kind of a car guy or a vehicle fan, a car girl, I guess. If you are into these GT cars or GTRs in general, or just you like these sports cars, then I think you're going to really enjoy this. If you're going for the robot mode, I'm not sure these do a great job in terms of robot mode, but certainly these are kind of fun. They look good. They're a fun line to collect. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.